rain in Gauteng, and it is the story that we are picking up on. Heavy rains battering parts of the country over the weekend, damaging road infrastructure and leaving scores of people displaced. Now, the city of Johannesburg here in Gauteng, along with some parts of Mpumalanga, were some of the hardest hit areas. Let's get an update now on the situation, and we're joined by the Gauteng EMS spokesperson, Robert Mulaudzi, and Cyril Ripenga, who is in the Nkomazi Municipality. These are the two spokespersons who join us now. Gentlemen, thank you very much to the both of you for your time. Let me start with you, Mr. Ripenga. The understanding is that some people may have died as a direct result of these floods. Are you able to confirm that on the record for us, that some people have died in Mpumalanga, and if so, how many?
Yes, it is true. I can safely confirm that. As you speak now to me, I am visiting one of the families where Elena drowned 4 days ago. We are here with the councillor of this particular village. The number of people who are missing still stands at 3 now, because we recovered one person and the other person was electrocuted, taking the number to 5. Sure.
That is a worrying situation indeed. Any effort in trying to locate these people that you say are missing? 3 of them, you said.
Yes, the 3 who are missing also drowned the previous days, because it has been very raining here. Unfortunately, the search had to be discontinued for some time due to the weather condition. But today, at least, it is shiny. Police divers are still searching for those who are missing. The situation is bad. Yeah. A number of villages are not accessible. We cannot reach to those villages. We are using the Defence Force chopper to ensure that they get food parcels as we speak.
All right. Cyril, we're going to have to pause there with you for a moment, but please don't go away. Let's come back to Robert Mulaudzi in Johannesburg. Mr. Mulaudzi, thanks for your time. How would you describe the situation in the Gauteng province in general?
Good morning, Cole, and morning to the viewers. Yes, so far in and around Johannesburg, we did get a number of flash floods there and there, even though we didn't have to evacuate any residents so far. The usual areas which we know that the water levels were much more higher, where most of our informal settlements, which most people are aware, our residents were residing along Jackskey, and also our residents were in Ivory Park area along Calfontein, and also in Cape Town, which is along Klip Valley river stream. So far, we don't have any situations where we had to evacuate people, but we do have our disaster management monitoring teams in all 7 regions of the city who are assessing as to whether we do have other families who might need our assistance, who might have been affected over the weekend. We also have our swift water rescue unit, which is a specialized rescue unit which responds to water-related emergencies, which is on high alert.
All right, Robert Mulaudzi, let's pause there with you. Let's go back to Cyril Ripenga, who is in Mpumalanga. Cyril, let's then conclude the conversation. Quite a worrying report suggesting that villages are actually becoming isolated as a result of these floods. You did say a little earlier that the villages, some villages, are inaccessible. And are there any efforts in trying to see to it that people in those areas are still safe, though?
Yes, definitely. As I indicated earlier, that we are getting assistance from the Defence Force using their resources, particularly a chopper. We are also getting help from sector departments, both the province and the national. They are here on the ground. We have set up an operational center where we coordinate all our activities. I must also indicate that there are people who were evacuated last night to a place of safety, because where they were staying, we discovered that it is very risky for them to continue to stay there because it was flooding. But the situation today is under control. However, we cannot predict as to what will happen in the next few hours, because it does appear that it might rain anytime soon.
All right, Cyril Ripenga, let's leave the conversation there. Robert, as we conclude the conversation, any word of caution, particularly those residents who may live in low-lying areas?
Yes, our message, we're pleading with our residents in most of our low-lying areas to avoid crossing river streams, since the water levels are much more higher in those river streams, and also to monitor young kids to stay away from these areas so that we can be able to prevent, drowning incidents. And of course, our motorists, as and when they're driving, they need to be cautious. Some of the roads might be flooded. They need to make sure that they avoid crossing those bridges or roads which are flooded, and also while driving, try and extend the safe following distance, keep the headlights on so that they can be visible. And we're hoping that also our public transport, our buses and taxis, most of the time they try and take a chance to cross this area. So we're pleading with them to also avoid, crossing these areas which might be flooded, so that we can minimize the incidents which might occur throughout this week, because we are told that we might still receive some rainfall towards this week.
Thank you very much for that update. Robert Mulaudzi speaks for emergency services in the Johannesburg area, and Cyril Ripenga, representing the Nkomazi Municipality spokesperson there. We have heard him confirming that he is at the home of a child that sadly drowned and lost their life, and there are still 3 missing people in the area of Mpumalanga. So a very worrying situation, because those 3 people, they are feared to have drowned.